Puerto Rico, do you still believe that the federal government's response to the hurricanes last
Yeah, I think Puerto Rico, I think we did a fantastic job in Puerto Rico. We're still helping Puerto Rico. The governor is an excellent guy, and he is very happy with the job we've done. We have put billions and billions of dollars into Puerto Rico, and it was a very tough one. Don't forget, their electric plant was dead before the hurricane. If you look back on your records, you'll see that that plant was dead, it was shut, it was bankrupt, it was out of business. They owed tremendous amounts of money. They had it closed up, and then when the hurricane came, people said, what are we going to do about electricity? That wasn't really the hurricane, that was gone before the hurricane, but we've put a lot of money and a lot of effort into Puerto Rico. And I think most of the people in Puerto Rico really appreciate what we've done. You know, Texas healed quickly, and the people were incredible. Florida healed quickly, and everybody worked very hard. Puerto Rico was actually more difficult because of the fact it's an island. It's much harder to get things onto the island. With Texas, you're land-based. With Florida, you're land-based. Puerto Rico is a very difficult situation. I only hope they don't get hit again, because they were hit by two right in a row, and really the likes of which we have never seen before. But the people of Puerto Rico are great people. They worked very hard. But Puerto Rico, I would say, was by far the most difficult of the group. And, you know, right now, FEMA and all of the people that work so hard there, they were very brave, and they have done some job. But Puerto Rico had a lot of difficulties before it got hit, and we're straightening out those difficulties even now. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. I think we're doing well with North Korea. We'll have to see. I think part of the North Korean problem is caused by our trade disputes with China. China's been taking out about $500 billion a year from the United States for many years, and we can't let that happen. So when we started working a little bit against China, and we have a great relationship with China. I have a great relationship with President Xi. I think he's a terrific man, a terrific person. But we have to straighten out our trade relationship because too much money is being lost by us. And as you know, China is the route to North Korea. 93% of the product and various things that go into North Korea go in through China. So I think that now that we're in somewhat, I don't like to call it a trade war, and I think, you know, our country is doing very well, but China's having a very, very tough time. And I think that China makes it much more difficult in terms of our relationship with North Korea. Now, I knew that, but I couldn't wait any longer when I got in. I've been talking about China for a long time. When I came into office, I purposely didn't do much with respect to the trade on China because I wanted to see if we could work out North Korea. But when you're losing $400 to $500 billion a year, and it's going to China and coming away from our country and our taxpayers, I can't let that go on. So we are being very strong on China. I think it's all going to work out. Our country has gone up, and they are, you know, they're having a hard time. So I think,
North Korea is holding up their end of the deal.
well, we're going to have to see. But I think China probably has a great influence over North Korea. I have a fantastic relationship with Chairman Kim, as you probably know, and we're just going to have to see how it all ends up. But I had to move on China from the standpoint of trade because it really was not fair to our country. We were just pouring money. For many years, presidents, they closed their eyes. And I'm talking about not President Obama, I'm talking about many presidents. And they closed their eyes, and hundreds of billions of dollars a year was pouring out of the United States and taxpayers and everything else. So we had to do that.
Negative impact on your voters, on your votes?
No, I think we're going to have a very positive impact. I mean, if you look at the polls, based on the polls, it's positive. Based on the polls, it's the highest in the Republican Party, I guess, forever or for a long time. And it's been, I don't do it for the polls. Honestly, people won't necessarily agree with this. I do nothing for the polls. I do it to do what's right. I'm here for an extended period of time. I'm here for a period that's a very important period of time. And we are straightening out this country. And one of the biggest things we want to straighten out is what the people in this room represent. That's drug abuse and alcohol abuse and all of the problems. And I think it's something that maybe a lot of people don't talk about. You know, we'll talk about other things. But to me, this is just as exciting as creating a Space Force or sending rockets up or doing so many of the things that we're doing. So I really don't, and I can tell you this, Jim, I don't do anything for polls. I enjoy looking at polls, it's interesting to see, but ultimately I always make a decision based on what's right and what's wrong. Well, I just hope there won't be violence. I can tell you that, because that's the way, I guess, if you look at what happens, there's a lot of unnecessary violence all over the world, but also in this country. And I don't want to see it. Yes?
Can I ask you about Google, sir? What would you like the federal government to do about Google?
Well, I think that Google and Facebook and Twitter, I think they treat conservatives and Republicans very unfairly. I could tell you that I have personal experience. I have a lot of people on the various platforms. Dan would tell you probably over 100 million, over 125 million. What is the numbers, Dan, here? Dan? What is it?
About 160 million across all the platforms.
160 million people. I have numerous platforms. But that's a lot of people. But I can tell you when things are different. And all of a sudden you lose people and you say, where did they go? They're taken off. Now, I don't know if it happens to the other side, but I can say that with respect to Google and Twitter and Facebook, there is a big difference. And in fact, I hear that they're holding hearings in Congress over the next couple of weeks. And I think it's a very serious problem because they're really trying to silence a very large part of this country. And those people don't want to be silenced. It's not right. It's not fair. It may not be legal. But we'll see. We just want fairness.
Do you want to regulate them more? Is that what you're
We're just going to see. We're just going to see. You know what we want? Not regulation. We want fairness. If we have fairness, we're all very happy. But you're talking about a tremendous amount. I mean, I'm president. They got me here. You're talking about a tremendous number of people. We want to see fairness. Very important. Thank you all very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.